What's up, everybody? Um, back up, if you watched my last video, I did say I was going to do one on KEEPA. If you don't know, KEEPA used to be a free tool. You see it here. This is what it looked like. You could add it to your Amazon page, and any item you clicked on, it would show you the sales rank tracker, the price history, and a little bit more info like your statistic, your averages, things like that. Um, and it was free, and people used it. I used it. It's an extremely nice tool to use, to put it in to show you a little bit of how it works. This is your sales rank. You can tell Amazon didn't release how many sales an item has. All it releases is a sales rank, a BSR, by ASIN. Those are dependent on, you might see something that's ranked 90,000 and you're like, wow, that's not ranked that good. But there's 6 million parts of that category. So 9,000, 90,000 is pretty good. So you could use that. You could say, okay, well, it's selling, excellent. So you buy it. There were more things that went into it though, and I think KEEPA, for me, I pay for it. This is the paid version. It runs you about $17 a month. It's €15, I think, and it's $17 is what they charge me. But I want to show you an example of how you can use it for free still and be able to read between the lines. At the end of the day, with or without the paid version, it's going to be a guessing game on certain things. You've got to take all the factors into play. To me, the free version, excuse me, kind of forced me to use all of the criteria that I use now with the paid version. With the paid version or the former free version, when it had the sales rank, a lot of people would look at this chart just like this, completely ignoring the price, completely ignoring the price history. And probably half the time they bought items that they ended up either not making money on, or the price dropped and they lost money. So I want to make sure that you realize that it is very important, and in my opinion, you should pay for it if you can. I know a lot of people can't. I know a lot of people won't, and I don't blame you. I think it's really, I'm surprised it was free as long as it was, honestly, because it is a tool that can be used very effectively. So today's example I'm going to show you is this Tresemme shampoo and conditioner, which, by the way, the single packs are profitable on here. You see, these are the 2-pack for the conditioner and the shampoo, $14.69, whatever. You want to know if this is selling at all before you buy it. Ordinarily, you would come down here and you'd look at it. Okay, in the last month, you see the chart. Every drop in the sales rank, potentially, usually, especially the big drops like this vertical drop here, that's a sell. I can guarantee you that was a sell. These small drops right here, when they're a little drop like that, I don't think those are sales. Some people count those into their drops as sales per month or week. But I don't think those are sales. I think that's fluctuations from other things selling and jumping ahead of you, and then also other things not selling, and now they've not sold for so long they drop behind you, forcing you up, which makes you drop. Those drops I don't count. I only count the big vertical drops in my calculations. So that's a little tip there. And sometimes I undervalue it. I'd rather undervalue than overvalue, and send something I thought sold 20 times a month, so I send 20 and it sells twice a month. You're wasting a lot of time and money. So, but what this video is about is I want to show you how you can use and what to look for in the free version. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sales rank off. Before I do that, statistically, you see right here in drops, it says 38 drops per month for this item. 53 minutes ago it was ranked 9,430. It averages 12,721 in the beauty category, health and personal care, not beauty, which is extremely good. This thing's selling, I guarantee you it's probably sold 10 times this week. You see the drops, 1, 2, 3, it's at least 7, 8 times this week. Today, it looks like it may have sold once or twice. So point being, there's the 3-month chart. Okay. This is a product that you would want to invest in if you could find it cheap, which you're not going to, but this is just for example purposes. So I'm going to take the sales rank off. I'm going to put the price chart on. That is what you want to see every time with your price chart. in the last 3 months, that price has not dropped. It's stayed straight. You want to see it just like that. A lot of times, majority of the times, when you find a profitable product, if you're using the free version of the new KEEPA, if that chart is doing like the sales rank chart and it's going up and down and all over the place, you get the heck away from it because it's an anomaly in the price. If another thing that I've caught myself doing here recently is I go back a year. You see how it's spiking? It spiked up to over 20 bucks back in November, Christmas. Okay, I know it's shampoo, but people, trust me, it was Christmas. The line has stayed though, predominantly at $15. And I don't know if this is on the free version or not, but as you can see, they got filter extreme values now as well. And that's on, I keep that on. Because it's going to take out your highest and your lowest in the drops category, in the sales rank category. But for price, you want to keep it as straight as possible. Actually, you kind of want to see it trending up, because if it stayed straight the last 3 months, but it's trending up and staying straight, then you're probably in a good situation. Another thing, and this is very important that people, I think, kind of lose track of, is that, and particularly like if you're not using a inventory lab or something to that effect, scan FBA, whatever it's called now that I don't use anymore, but you see a sales rank and it's a snapshot, right? That's the sales rank right now. It's going to go up 4 hours from now, or it could go down if it sells. That's the only information you're going to have with free KEEPA is the current sales rank. So it could be ranked in the top 3% and you're like, this is a good item, I'm buying it. Here's the catch to that though. If it's only been on here 2 months, then it's climbing. It may have sold right when it got on here, but now it's climbing. So you don't know if it's climbing or not because you don't have that chart, sales rank chart, to tell if it's climbing or not. So how you get around that is you come down here to this. On the free version, that price rank history is going to be on there, but the sales rank is going to be blank. It's not going to show you the history. It's just going to show you what it is now. So you're not going to see any of that. But my point is you want to see how many times a month it drops in price. Okay, this one is 0.7 per month. Excellent. Anything under 2 is good. But you want to go right here to the year. See how this has kind of been trending down. It's had a few spikes in its complete history, which is 1328 days. It's had some spikes, but for the most part, it's stayed right in there. You want to make sure that that price has stayed like that, okay? But here's the thing. You want to make sure that it's been on here for multiple months. You don't want to buy an item that you can't see the sales history on, and it looks like it has a good sales rank, but it's only been on here 2 months, maybe 3. That, to me, and what I've found is that it basically says it's had a few sales, but you're talking about 3 months. You don't want to buy something that sells once a month, because if you're not the only seller, guess what? You're probably not going to get that sale, or you're going to have to wait in line to get it. So you want it to say, like this item, where it has 1,328 days, if the rank is good at this moment, it's in that range you want it to be in, which in my mind is the top 3%. A lot of people say the top 10. It depends on the category with that. Toys, top 10%, you can go with it. And a lot of other things come into play. Don't get me wrong. You want to know how often is Amazon in stock. And you can see that. The Amazon stuff would be orange or a yellow color on here. It's blank, meaning Amazon hasn't had this in their stock because they're typically going to sell it cheaper than what the marketplace is going to sell it. So, having said that, you want to keep the price level. You want it to be as level as possible. You want to be able to look at it all or year and see it. It's going to have fluctuation, but you want to see it. I should be able to draw a line from where it is now to the left side and not see much below that. Okay. Then you want to make sure that the rank is in your top 3, whatever percent you go by. Myself, like I said, 3, no more than 5. Toys, I might go to 7. But you want to have it in that range and have a long history of steady price. So you're not going to be able to see the rank history, sales rank history, but you know it's in that range right now. And if the price hasn't changed over time, then you know it's been at that price over time, that it's sold for that price or more potentially. So now you're at a point where you know the price is steady, you know it has sold because the rank's in your range currently, and it's got multiple months of history on it with the price rank. So therefore, it's been on Amazon for a while. Another thing to go to, a little bit away from KEEPA, but still kind of in it, is you come over here. There's 11 people selling this item right now. Let's see how many of them are prime. A lot of them, probably close to all of them. Out of 11, it looks like, well, I guess that might be 10. There's 9 of those 10 on this front page are FBA sellers. Therefore, you're gonna have to say that the competition level is going to be high on this item for, say, 20 sales a month. If there's 10 people selling it, that's 2 sales a month theoretically, if everybody's got the similar price in the buy box. As you can see, 4 of them look like they have the current buy box, so they're sharing it. Every 4 sales, somebody gets one. So, point being, you take all those criteria into your consideration on buying it. You're going to take the price range, price history, consistency. You're going to take the current sales rank and it be in whatever range it is that you guys use. And based off those 2 things, you can read between the lines and say, okay, it stayed consistently at this price, so I know I can make $5, for example, off this sale, and it's been that way for nearly a year. The sales rank now is good, so if it wasn't selling a lot, that rank would not probably be in your range. It would be way higher than that. You don't want to get outside of 10% and without having the paid KEEPA. You know, grocery is a good example. They don't have, I think there may be 300 or 3 million items in grocery. So 300,000 would be 10%. Well, I can tell you from experience, 300,000 is a crap rank for grocery. It's probably not sold, and if it has, it's only been once or twice every 3 months. So unless you're making high-end profit on that, that's a waste of money. So if you don't have that sales rank history to see it going up and down and everywhere, you have to have price consistency, you have to have price longevity, and a current price or a current sales rank well within, I would say well within. Here's why I would say well within the range that you have set for that category is that you don't want it to be on the tail end of that because it could be creeping out. It could be creeping out and it hasn't sold in a while and it's just creeping out. It's going to keep creeping out. If it's well within your range, then you know it's sold recently because it's down in the 1, 2, 3%. So at that price, so you can make an informed decision, as informed as you can get for free. You see what I mean? Like if I pay for it and I come back down and I add my sales rank, now I'm paying for a KEEPA. I'm showing you how much easier this is to pay for it, and I'm not, I make no money off of these videos, no money off of KEEPA, but I want you to see that it is probably better to pay for it if you can afford it. Now if I'm paying for it, what would I look at? Well, I'm going to look at the drops, 38. I'm going to take about 10 off of that, about 30% off of that, knock it down to 28. I'm going to say it sells 28 times, over the last 3 months, which would be roughly 10 sales a month. Probably a little more than that, but I'm going on the low end range. That's criteria 1. Criteria 2 is the price consistency. It's there since January. It has only had one major drop, and that was 9 cents. It has since dropped a penny in the last 3 months. So I'm confident that I can sell it at this price. I'm confident it's going to sell 10 times a month. I would come over here. We said there were 4 people. I would add myself to that. That's 5 people. That would be 5 people selling this item that sells 10 times a month at this price. I know I can buy 2. I should sell 2 in a month. Probably going to go out quicker than that. And full disclosure, if I'm really going to get into it and find out how many to buy, for example, I'm going to click on how many sellers there are. And there's an add-on in the Google store called How Many. It is a paid add-on, but it gives you, I think, 3 to 5 a day. You click it, it looks like a little fist in the air, and it's going to tell me how many. I don't know if it's an estimate or not, to be honest with you, but it is accurate. There's it tells me how much inventory these guys have. So FBA has 388 of these items. Market Fulfilled has 3. Therefore, I know that the 4 to 5 guys that have FBA are probably got a whole lot more supply than I'm willing to buy until I know if it's going to actually be a profitable, consistent seller for me. So those 2 a month that I'm going to buy would probably be 2 a month. If that was low, if it was like, say, example, selling 10 times a month, there's 4 to 7 sellers and there's only 20 in there, then you would say, okay, wait a minute, there's only 20 in there. There's a good chance these guys are going to run out of stock in a month, and it's going to take them a while to get their stock back in there. When I say a while, it takes a couple of weeks. These guys are not, if they're on top of their game, like I've been, and like you have to be, if you know something's selling 5 times a month, you better send more in when you get down to 2, 3, because you're going to go through the act of buying it, which if it's shipped to you, it's going to take a few days. If it's shipped to Amazon, it's still going to take a few days. But here's the kicker, and I've gone over this soapbox before. Just because you shipped it to Amazon doesn't mean it goes live that day. 90 times out of 100, guess what? They're shipping it to another fulfillment center, and it's going to sit in FC processing for 2 weeks. Sometimes. I've seen it last longer than that. So you want to make sure if they had less than 20 on this how many add-on, I would buy as many as I could, because I know they're going to sell out, and I'm hoping that they're not on their game and they run out while mine still got 20 in there to cover that over the next time frame. I'm going to get all the sales, not just 2 a month. So just a quick video. I wanted to show you the differences and some criteria to look at. To go over it again, you want price consistency. You want price longevity. You want a sales rank currently, because you're not going to be able to see this green chart here. You want a sales rank currently in your range, which I would suggest no more than 5%. Beauty and personal care, I would say 3, because it is a much more competitive category now than it was, say, a year ago. I don't know if they loosened their criteria on gating in that category, or if more people are just doing it. But it is got 11 FBA sellers for a product that was gated 6-7 months ago is a lot. So just a quick video to throw that out there, you guys. You don't have to pay for KEEPA. You don't have to get info and make an informed decision on your product, but it is better to pay for it, and you're still not going to know exactly how many sales there are a month, but you got a better idea by paying for it. I have lost money without it, and I have gained money without it, so I can see both sides of the coin. But for me, it's a whole lot quicker. It's a whole lot more. I feel better about the purchase if I have the sales rank history. But you can do it on the price rank. So just something quick to get out there, and look forward to another video later about the arbitrage services. Tactical arbitrage is the main one everybody talks about on YouTube. I gotta tell you, as someone who's only been in this for about a year, I'm not impressed with tactical arbitrage at all. I have to wait hours to get my data back, and I found another alternative that people have probably heard of that is cheaper and gives me better data, honestly, as far as for my time. So look forward to that video, and keep watching. Thank you.